Hello, my name is Raven Ivy, and this is my multidimensional snapshot. The first dimension that we'll look at is going to be the personal dimension and the biological and spiritual components. Biologically, I'd like to say that I'm a pretty healthy individual. I engage in physical fitness at least 6 times a week. I enjoy going to the gym and lifting weights. I enjoy running, doing things such as 5Ks, half marathons, marathons, and I'm also very health conscious as far as what I eat. I eat mostly organic foods, low carbs, drink lots of water. That's a lot easier for me probably since I'm allergic to things such as ice cream and cheesecake. As far as the spiritual dimension goes, I was raised in a strictly Methodist family. I went through confirmation, was baptized in the Methodist church, and I am now a member of a Methodist church here in Conroe, Texas, where I teach 4th graders Sunday school. Being that I was raised in a very religious family, I have lots of values and beliefs that would be considered conservative. Especially last semester, I realized just how conservative my views are, but also the need to place them aside when it comes to helping others and to be able to help future clients of mine. The next dimension is the environmental dimension. Growing up, I was in a very rural town, very small country town of about 200 people. We lived an hour away from everything. Hour away from the nearest Walmart, hour away from shopping, hour away from the closest chain restaurant. Lifestyle was very, very different. I now live in Conroe, Texas, where I'll catch myself telling my friends that I'm going to go into town, and HEB is literally a block away. But I enjoy it here. It is something that I can definitely see the diversity that exists that I was once completely unaware of. Back home, you didn't really have classes as people. You simply had the haves and the have-nots, or the ones that could afford it and the ones that couldn't. Here you can definitely see how those class lines kind of spread and where the clear lines actually exist and the way they affect the way that people live depending on everything. And these are things that I really was completely unaware of growing up. But as I've moved to a larger city, you can clearly see these things in the way that you see all these different people and the way people interact with them just because of how they're stereotyped and because what class they look like they're from, especially given the fact that I work at the hospital that it's here as a CAT scan tech. I see it more there than anywhere because sometimes I can even catch myself seeing patients and thinking, oh, well, why are they here? Well, I can, you begin to stereotype your patients just based on the class of person you think they are. As for the last dimension, the time dimension. Now, there was an assigned reading that was related to time, which covered globalization. It was the meaning and making of childhood in the era of globalization and the challenges to social work. It looks at globalization and how it affects children and their development in childhood through 5 processes, which are marketization, marginalization, medication, militarization, and mobilization. Overall, what that article is looking at is the way that all these forces that are going into a child and surround their childhood and how it shapes them. But all these influences are infiltrating their development, and it's very confusing for them. How can they find out who they really are with all these things coming at them from all directions? And something that I found really interesting is that the medicalization of it, many children now don't have health insurance because of the issues that are going along with that and all the talk that's going around, and so many families don't have it, and who's going to get Obamacare and the Medicaid and Medicare. A lot of children aren't going to be getting the help that they need as far as from social workers. And so this early onset that could be helped now as a current client